Hello guys, so for this question we want to show that the random telegraph signal is a strict sense stationary process. So in order to prove the signal is a strict sense stationary process, we need to show that the probability of capital Y of Tn equals to Yn to capital Y of T1 equals to Y1 is equals to the probability capital Y of Tn plus epsilon equals to Yn and to capital Y of T1 plus epsilon equals to Y1. So this equation is hold for any n and any ti, I equals to 1, 2 to n and q. And so in order to prove this, we will use an example such that the probability of y of Tn is equals to 1 and given by capital Y of Tn minus 1 equals to 1 to capital Y of T1 equals to 1. So the graph of this example is like this. So this probability is equals to the probability of capital Y of Tn equals to 1 given by capital Y of Tn minus 1 equals to 1, which is equals to the e to the power negative lambda times Tn minus 1 times the cosine h times lambda times Tn minus 1. So by this equation, we can calculate the probability of capital Y of Tn equals to 1 to capital Y of T1 equals to 1. So this is equals to the probability of capital Y of Tn equals to 1 given by capital Y of Tn minus 1 equals to 1 to capital Y of T1 equals to 1 times the probability of capital Y times probability of capital Y of Tn minus 1 equals to 1 given by capital Y of Tn minus 2 equals to 1 to capital Y of T1 equals to 1 and times to the probability of capital Y of T2 is equals to 1 given by capital Y of T1 equals to 1, and finally we times the probability of Y of T1 equals to 1. So this product equation is equals to the probability of capital Y of Tn equals to 1 given by capital Y of Tn minus 1 equals to 1 times to the probability of capital Y of T2 equals to 1 given by capital Y of T1 equals to 1 and then times the probability of capital Y of T1 equals to 1. So since we know that this is the function of Tn minus 1 and this is the function of T2 minus T1, and this probability is equals to 1 over 2, and we have already calculated the function of Tn minus 1. So this whole product is equals to the e to the power negative lambda times Tn minus 1 and times cosine h times lambda times Tn minus 1 and times to e to the power negative lambda times T2 minus T1 and times cosine h times lambda times T2 minus T1 and finally times 1 over 2. So we can see that the value of this equation is only depends on the difference between ti and ti minus 1, I is equals to n. So if we calculate the probability of capital Y t n plus epsilon equals to yn to capital Y of t1 plus epsilon equals to y1, we will still get this equation finally, since the epsilon will cancel each other, so these two probabilities are the same. So the telegraph signal is a strict sense stationary process. So we have done the proof.